She always looking at me when I start recording. I don't know what this little baby's doing, but this little baby's doing the most. So, as you know, I just want to be here today to bring y'all some information and insight on breastfeeding and the benefits of breastfeeding and why the benefits of breastfeeding is good for both moms and babies. So, breast milk provides the optimum nutrition for babies. So basically, from a newborn baby to say a year old, that's all your little one will need is breast milk. It has the right amount of nutrients and it's easily digested. And, it's ready. It's available. Like, all we have to do is give them our boob. As a mother of four, breastfeeding all four of my children and just the firstborn, which is my son who will be 14 soon, he didn't get the full spectrum of breastfeeding. Here she is, 1 year old. My 4-year-old, she was breastfed until 29, 30 months. She was like almost 2.5 years old, and I was still breastfeeding her. So I wasn't as knowledgeable as I am today as a 31-year-old woman versus a 17-year-old woman or 18-year-old breastfeeding him. So he got formula, and then my life was just all over the place. Like, being a mom with him, like, I suffered a lot, like, where I didn't know. I was just figuring things out as I go and not knowing things, and I didn't have no one in my ear giving me the information and insight that I needed. I was more so focused on trying to keep a roof over our head. Like, me and my son, I was hand in hand with him with a lot of different things that I experienced in life, from being homeless, living in a shelter, to getting my own place and giving it up because it was just not the best place that I should have chose because of infestation of roaches and mouses and things like that. I just couldn't live there. So I gave that up again to go back and be homeless again and work 2 jobs and find a babysitter for him. So me and my son them been through it. Like, he been with me through thick and thin, and I overcame. This is where I'm at today. So when I sit back and think about those things and not having the knowledge that I have now, it's a blessing that I'm able to sit here and explain to y'all just the benefits of breastfeeding that I didn't know when I was 18 years old and buying formula or going to WIC appointments when all I had to do was nurse my child, because God gave us exactly what we needed. Go have a seat, princess. God gave us exactly what we needed to take care of our babies, of our bodies, of ourselves. Like, the breastfeeding helps us as women. It helps us get back in shape a little bit, because I could contest from that on 3 different jobs, and it varies. And it's also great for keeping. I don't do. Let me see. I don't do. Listen, we need to do mammograms and feel for lumps in our breasts. I don't do that. I don't know why I don't, but because I don't do it, and the fact that I do breastfeed, my chances are lower to have those type of cancers or to have those type of lumps, because my children or my little one, she's nursing. So all of those things are being conditioned where the body is being supplied in what I need in demand. So now they're saying the rate of breastfeeding is low. It's 30% in some groups of women. And that's really low. And it's kind of alarming because a lot of people don't have the knowledge about breastfeeding. And that's what I want to use this platform for, one of the many things that my platform is for, to be able to be on YouTube and share these experiences with y'all. So for it to be 30% of some group of women, I just feel like, ladies, we have to increase those numbers for our children's sake, because breast is really, really best. And I'm going to just tell you 10 things why. Basically, it provides the ideal nutrition for babies, okay? So continued breastfeeding is then recommended for at least 1 year, as different foods are introduced to the baby's diet. Breast milk contains everything the baby needs for the first 6 months of life in all the right proportions. its composition even changes according to the baby changing needs, especially during the first month of life. The first day after birth, the breast produces a thick and yellowish fluid called colostrum. It is high in protein, low in sugar, and is loaded with beneficial compounds. Colostrum is the ideal first milk and helps the newborn immature digestive tract develop. The first few days, the breast starts producing larger amounts of milk as the baby's stomach grows. About the only thing that may be lacking from the breast milk is vitamin D. Unless the mother has a very high intake, her breast will not provide enough. So basically, because of the lack of vitamin D that's in the breast milk, they have vitamin D drops. I use the vitamin D drops, and I would just put it on my titty, and she would nurse. So actually, I don't give them to her no more because she doesn't need them. But I will show y'all how I just dab it on my nipple and she just latch on and nurse. And that's all the amount of vitamin D that she needs. Like, she doesn't need a high level. And that's what bothers me with vitamin D milk, like cow milk. But that's a whole nother story. Needless to say, breast contains the most, number 2, it contains the most important antibodies, okay? And the antibody is what helps your baby fight off viruses and bacteria. My exclusively breastfed child is Isaiah. Isaiah don't get sick for anything, okay? Like, everything, her immune system fights everything off that she needs, okay? So the fact that the colostrum is the first milk that the baby gets, the colostrum provides the most highest amount of the antibodies that the baby needs. So that's why I say, well, if you can't breastfeed or don't, I tell my girlfriends, if you don't want to breastfeed your child, at least give it the milk, the breast to them the first 3 days in the hospital or 2 days in the hospital. Let them get that colostrum intake for the antibodies that's in the milk. So just to help your baby sustain. Like, being in a womb and coming out into the world, that's a big deal for a baby. That takes a toll on a child. Like, that's a big deal. So with that being said, formula doesn't provide antibodies for any type of protection for your baby. None. Your baby is just out here, gotta figure this shit out and fight it off. So your baby gets sick, gotta fight it off. You gotta figure it out. That's whack. However, if like they said, it's either most women either choose not to breastfeed or they can't. So those that can't and want to breastfeed, my heart is for you. But those that just choose not to breastfeed, it's just something to try and step out on faith, and hopefully I can give you knowledge. And if this video isn't going to give you enough knowledge that you need to convince you, I just hope the more and more I put out and the more feedback I get from my family on here, that I could be able to educate more, because that's all I want to do. Number 3, breastfeeding may reduce disease risk, like middle ear infections, respiratory tract infection, colds and infection, gut infection, intestinal damage. SIDS. Breastfeeding is linked to 50% of reduced SIDS risk in 1 month. Because the baby is with you. The baby is like next to you. SIDS, it will be lower. I don't know what she's trying to do. You want yum yum? Yum yum? Okay, yep, she's grabbing on my shirt, so guess who gets yum yum? Talijah. And this is another good thing. This would be my 11 right now after this 3. It's just a bond that we have, that she's able to just come and know that I will provide for her, which is I love. 4, breast milk promotes a healthy weight. Breastfeeding promotes healthy weight gain and prevents childhood obesities. 5, breastfeeding may make some children smarter. Now, each child is different, but I can tell it's just certain things that Zaya did at 2 that the other 2 didn't do at 2. And I don't know if that contributed to breastfeeding, but I'm going to, believe it. Breastfeeding may help me lose weight. That was number 6. I touched on that already. 7, breastfeeding helps the uterus contract. So, when I had Talijah, I didn't deliver her placenta yet. When I pushed her out, I got her. She was on my chest. I have a picture. I think I will have to find it or upload another time. And she just started eating instantly, okay? This little girl latched on. I gave her my breast. So, of course, it took them like, it took me like maybe 15 minutes to deliver my afterbirth after I had her. But because of me breastfeeding her, my uterus is like this, contracting, 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 contracting. Where the doctor didn't know what she was dealing with because I wasn't her patient. I delivered her so fast, my OB didn't get to me in time. So she's like, we're going to give you, I think is Pitocin they give you to help contract to get the afterbirth out. And I'm like, no, I don't need that. I'm going to nurse her. And that'll help my uterus contract. And she looked at me like if I wasn't supposed to know that. Because if they would have administered that drug in that IV, that would have went through my body and damaged my afterbirth, which is the tree of life for my baby that's still connected. Her umbilical cord is coming up my stomach as well. Why do we need that drug? Explain to me why. So no, I decline. 8. Mothers who breastfeed have a low risk of depression. Postpartum depression is a type of depression that can develop shortly after childbirth. It affects up to 15% of mothers. Women who breastfeed seems likely to develop postpartum depression compared to mothers who wean early or do not breastfeed. However, those who experience postpartum depression after delivery are also more likely to have trouble breastfeeding and do so for a shorter duration. That's a whole nother topic. That's all I'm going to say about that. 9, breastfeeding reduces the risk of disease. Breastfeeding seems to provide the mother with long-term protection against cancer and several diseases. The total time a woman spends breastfeeding is linked with a reduced risk of breast and ovarian cancer. I spoke on that. 10, breastfeeding may prevent menstruation. Who don't not want a period? Me. You don't get a period as fast when you are breastfeeding. And most importantly, the bottom line to me is by breastfeeding, you save money. And you don't have to worry about buying or mixing formula, warming up bottles, or calculating your baby's daily needs. Okay? Breast milk contains the antibodies that you need. And it's just so much more benefits to reduce stress. Like, breast is best. And I'm all for it. And I want to be able to keep educating and putting out there why I believe breastfeeding is the best. I think it's amazing how when I'm nursing her, she just do her own thing and just be in her own little zone, like she playing with this card, and then she manipulates the breast to get the flow to increase or decrease. Amazing. You want yum yum? Yum yum? Hold this.
I think you flush them.
Oh. Okay, I'm about to give you some. Yeah. Yum yum yum. Yum yum. Okay. Yum yum. Yum yum.
It's crazy.
Elijah nursing with her beautiful mommy. Say, mommy, I'm my beautiful mommy and the beautiful baby, the baby. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to share this video if you think that it was helpful for you and that maybe you can share it and it helps another mom. Also, leave me a comment. Like, tell me what it is that you dislike or don't like, or what you would like to see more of. Let me engage with me. You guys are genuine. Like, the support, the love and stuff is real already. And I haven't even been on here doing this long. And I appreciate it. Like, I see you guys are sincere. Without further ado, don't forget to click that bell to turn on your notifications so that you know when I upload a video. And most importantly, always subscribe. Peace and blessings, love and light.